profile the Gullah Geechee community here and their impact they had on the First Coast, and their impact is significant. It goes back centuries, not decades, centuries.
Yeah, it's pretty major. So Derek Hankerson has a program that he'll be speaking at the Beaches Museum tonight, but right now we're going to talk about some of the untold stories in Florida history.
There are quite a few untold stories, starting in St. Augustine and even in Florida itself. Most people don't realize that Florida is 500 years old, and we were established in 1513. Just think, when I was growing up as a kid, this history was not prevalent in my history textbooks. I grew up in Maryland, so I got a lot of British history, and that British history was always disparaging from the South. My family's been from the South for 400 plus years, and I always looked at them to be intelligent, informative, and I also was offended by some of the stories that I saw. But also, we were blessed enough that I did a lot of traveling throughout the country with my siblings, and we would always come to my dad's hometown of St. Augustine. So we would learn these great stories, i.e., not only Florida being settled in 1513, but my dad's and our family native city of St. Augustine was established in 1565 to include free and enslaved Africans traveled with the Spanish Europeans to settle the New World. I didn't see any of these stories in the history textbooks, but I was looking for something that I thought that would inspire children like myself. So there was a lot of history that's missing. In fact, it's 268 years of missing Florida history between 1513 and 1776, and 211 years of missing history from 1565 to 1776.
And let's think about that. So you're talking about gaps in history. So the history, what we grew up reading, it's not accurate because there's holes there by hundreds of years.
Exactly.
And basically, what it kind of breaks down to is, I think you said this earlier, it's who won the wars, because that's who wrote the books. But wait a minute, what happened to everything else? It's not there.
Well, listen, I started swimming in the Boys and Girls Club when I was 5 years old, and I swam competitively until I was 13. So I realized growing up with a great family and a great foundation, also being in 4-H and also in the Scouts, that anything's possible as a kid. And I brought those same attributes to my adulthood, and I started diving in further into this story and realized this is a big missing puzzle. That missing puzzle includes not only free and enslaved Africans, but it includes Gullah Geechee. And you ask yourself, who were these Gullah people? Well, these were the original West Africans who settled the territory of Florida. Now, we have to remember that Florida was a territory. It extended from Key West, Florida, all the way up to Newfoundland and all the way over to California, because the Spanish explored and settled California, Los Angeles, City of Angels, Arizona. Mexico was explored in 1512, and it was settled in 1527. So because of the fact that the British won the war, they wrote the history. And we have to remember, winners get to write the history. That's why it's important to have a winning attitude. And you can't have a winning attitude when you have negative stuff in your head. So I had to find positive stories. Found those positive stories in Southern history and in my own family in the territory of Florida. And of course, Florida became a state in the 1800s, but Florida was the place where free blacks lived, and hence why President Andrew Jackson and President Andrew Johnson wanted to come to Florida to acquire those free slaves.
You mentioned inspiration.
Excuse me, those free people, not free slaves, those free people.
You mentioned inspiration and what these stories, filling in those blanks, can do to inspire kids who are looking for somebody, heroes that look like them.
That's right.
Talk like them, that gives them their heritage.
Well, one of the stories that you can look at, the governor of Florida, Ponce de Leon, he was the first governor of Puerto Rico. We have many kids here who are Hispanic. He's the first governor of Puerto Rico. Why not study that history? St. Augustine families in 1763, after the British acquired St. Augustine, Florida, through the Treaty of Paris, and I want to get back to that, all of those families, actually 15,000 family members moved out of St. Augustine to Cuba, except for 5,000 Africans who stayed in St. Augustine and lived in the woods.
All right. So much information. I wish we had more time. I hate to cut you off, but if you want to know more information, you definitely need to go find Derek at Beaches Museum tonight. learn the history, learn the information. Maybe you can share that, inspire youth all across the country, all across the world, because that's what we're looking to do these days, right?
That's exactly what we're looking to do. We're looking to educate people.
You inspired us.
Yeah.
Great story.
I'm still inspired by the stories, and
we
it's
can
been
see that
40
your
years.
passion.
Yeah, that's it. It's all passion.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more information, go to our website, rivercitylivetv.com, and click on the As Seen on RCL tab. Derek, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
We'll have more River City Live right after this.
Coming